Hi there! So welcome to the walkthrough for the YourTurn exercise. This is the one for one-way ANOVA, where you were asked to answer the research question, does self-reported well-being differ by the participant's school year? Or you're in school, and so how does that work? All right, so first of all, what you want to do is to set your working directory, and I would recommend using a subfolder of your reference notebook, which is what I'm doing here, and then go ahead and import and then perhaps attach your data set. So as you know, I like to attach my data set so that I don't have to worry about naming the data frame name when I refer to variables. And so I've gone through those steps now. And the first step in one-way ANOVA is to run the Levene's test. Now you might remember from lecture that you need the car package. And so we want to first of all load the car package. And so let's do that. So I can do library car because I've already installed the package. But of course, if you have not yet installed the package, then you can go ahead and run the install packages code, or you can go to packages and then go to install and then type in car and install. And then you'll be able to do the library. So library car. And then I should be able to run the Levene test. So, whoops, Levene test. And then the dependent variable is well-being. Independent variable is year this time. And then you might remember the center code. So here is the sample code for Levene test in case it's easier to take a look at sample code first. And so dv, iv, and then center equals mean. And so we're going to do that. And let's see what we get. So we've got the Levene test here. And so it says year course to factor, but it does recognize that it is a categorical variable, so it still runs it for us. Very helpful. And so here are the Levene's test results. And so after that, you want to figure out, based on the Levene's test, do you run the regular form or use the Welch's correction form? And so if you like, if this is easier, you can also copy and paste the code and then use it here. But then you run. And so which form do you use? And so that depends on the results of Levene's test. So I will leave that to you to think about that. And so let's say, and then well-being is now regressed on year, right? And so if that is the case, then you can run this model and then call for the ANOVA output. And so if you believe that this tells you that Levene's test says there's homogeneity of variance, then this is the form of the analysis that you want to run. And so well-being is regressed on year, and then you ask for the ANOVA output for that particular model. And so here it is. Now, if you believe that the Levene's test just told you that the homogeneity of variance assumption is not met, then you can use the one-way dot test to get the Welch's adjusted model, in which case you would say one-way test and then have well-being regressed on year and run that. And that will give you the Welch's F. And so you can figure out which one to use based on the results of Levene's test. And then is it significant? Is it significant or not? Do you have a significant difference, mean difference? And if you do, then you'd want to go ahead and run the pairwise t-test using this code. And then you can interpret it using this code. And so all the sample code you need is in your lecture code, and so feel free to borrow from that. Just make sure to make adjustments, including installing the car packages if you haven't done so already, and also of course replacing the names of the variables and models and so on along the way. And so I hope this was useful, and please let me know if you have any questions. Take care and talk to you soon.